Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal. I review cognitive supplements, and in this video you're going to learn about Saffron, which is one of the most popular supplements right now for boosting mood and boosting areas of cognition. As per this anecdote over here, somebody had mentioned Saffron has given me the most incredible month in years. What are your thoughts on long-term supplementation? So I'm going to address this as well as some of the research-backed benefits, their side effects, and what my experience has been like through using saffron extract. And where you're most commonly going to come across saffron isn't necessarily the supplement, it's actually in food. It's often used for color, it's often used as a spice, and it's actually one of the most expensive spices that I've found on the market. As per Wikipedia, saffron has long been the world's costliest spice by weight at US $5,000 per kg. And recently, or within the past decade, most likely you would have been consuming saffron from Iran. As a matter of fact, as per Wikipedia, as of 2018, Iran produced some 88% of the world total for saffron. But one of the things that's most fascinating about saffron is that you can look at this as a cognitive supplement, surprisingly, when a lot of people never even considered it to be just that. It was slept on. We were obviously consuming it through foods, but who would have thought to use it as a cognitive supplement? And is it just a trendy supplement that people won't be using years from now, or is it something that's actually worth taking, and what could it potentially do for you? And there's so many different areas of cognition, from improving your memory, helping with your thinking skills, your planning skills, but the category of supplement that saffron would pretty much fall under is something related to mood, something related to anxiety. There's over 150 bioactive compounds that are found within saffron, and be assured they're definitely doing something outside of just making food taste better, because we have a whole list of well done studies showing just how effective saffron can be. And I want to draw your attention to this paper done over here, the effect of saffron supplementation on symptoms of depression and anxiety. And this was a meta-analysis, so they took into consideration a number of studies, not just one, in order for them to draw some sort of conclusion. And what they had actually found after reviewing 23 different studies where there were individuals that were experiencing depressive symptoms, anxiety symptoms, they were actually able to conclude that saffron did in fact help with symptoms of depression and symptoms of anxiety. And interestingly enough, the individuals that were already using an antidepressant felt better when they were using an antidepressant along with using saffron every single day. And after browsing a number of anecdotes, what we can definitely see is happening is that it's helping to somehow increase levels of serotonin. So serotonin is a very important neurotransmitter when it comes to mood, when it comes to sleep, when it comes to appetite. If you ever heard about people craving carbohydrates, it's often because they're actually low on serotonin. So the mechanism of action in which this could potentially work is not necessarily by increasing serotonin levels. What's actually happening is that it's blocking the reuptake of serotonin. So what happens is if you only have so much serotonin and you actually block the reuptake of it, that means that the serotonin can stick around for a little bit longer. You can enjoy it, you can feel better. That's actually a very similar mechanism of action with a lot of SSRIs, a lot of antidepressants. So I'm not saying to stop using your antidepressant, but it looks like saffron could be a very effective treatment in helping with depression and helping with the symptoms of depression and improving your mood. And this isn't just backed by research, but we can see individuals like yourself, like myself, that have used saffron and only have reported good things around using saffron, feeling better, especially using it during the winter season where sunshine is limited. People use saffron and report feeling great and feeling like their normal self. But if it's that powerful for some individuals, like it wasn't that powerful for me, I think it's something that you may want to take with moderation. You may want to really just watch your consumption over it, because it looks like you're artificially making yourself happy, and that is a little bit similar to the other very popular supplement 5-HTP, which I've talked about in this video over here. You see 5-HTP actually increases levels of serotonin, whereas saffron, when you take it in high enough quantities, is actually blocking the reuptake of serotonin. So you have more serotonin sticking around, higher serotonin levels, but when you're increasing levels of serotonin, you also have to increase your levels of dopamine. So for that reason, I'm not going to say everyone should be using saffron. It's probably just a supplement that if you're experiencing a bad mood, you don't want to take antidepressants, perhaps you've tried other supplements to improve your mood and they hadn't been that strong, then maybe saffron is worth considering using. And that's actually illustrated in this paper here, Saffron and its active ingredients against human disorders. It's a literature review on existing clinical evidence, so they took into consideration a number of studies again, and there were so many studies and so many findings that they were even able to put together this table over here where we can see a summary of clinical trials related to the saffron effects, and we can see how significant the effects were across different dosages in different areas of cognition and health. So from cognitive disorders, depression, PMS, OCD, ADHD, sleep disorder, diabetes, obesity, which we'll talk about, and DM. And across the majority of studies, it seems like the lower dose that was used was 30 milligrams a day. That's a pretty small dose. Most people are taking like 50 to 100 milligrams. And we can see that there were significant effects and significant benefits with respect to depression, with respect to PMS, as well as anxiety. They actually found benefits with pain, believe it or not. In that study where there were benefits shown with pain, the individuals were taking 300 milligrams to 1500 milligrams per day, which is way more than what you would want to be taking. There were slight benefits with sleep quality and controversial benefits with respect to weight loss, metabolic syndrome, and diabetes. So this is probably not the supplement you would want to use if you're looking to like just be more productive and have a better memory and be focused and help with your concentration. The study is done with respect to saffron helping with ADHD symptoms showed some sort of benefit, although the benefit wasn't too significant. I've not found from using saffron that it's made me like think any clearer, it's maybe more motivated, but I like the fact that it could potentially improve sleep quality. I like that it's not a stimulant, meaning it's not a stimulant that you would ingest and feel wired and feel too alert and not feel like yourself. I like that with saffron. It seems like a supplement or something you can use at any part of the day, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in the evening, whether it's in a fasted state. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty flexible that way. It seems somewhat calming, so it's probably not the best thing to use like pre-workout, but pretty much at the end of the day, when you're looking to relax a little bit, it looks like a good supplement to consume. Kind of help with your body composition and losing weight. That's somewhat inconclusive. They did find that overweight subjects actually used saffron and they were able to lose a bit more weight during the 12-week study, although they only lost like slightly over a kilogram. And I think the main way in which saffron could potentially help individuals lose weight is by helping them to reduce their appetite. Because when you have more circulating serotonin, you naturally feel better. You're less likely to have carbohydrate cravings, as we know that does happen when you have lower serotonin levels. Something really interesting with respect to some of the studies done on saffron helping individuals to lose weight and helping them with their body composition was that there was 4 main ways saffron would help individuals lose weight. They found it had anti-inflammatory effects in adipose tissue. They also found that there was appetite reduction, and the fourth, and perhaps the one that stands out, is that it actually helped to decrease fat absorption. So if you were to ingest a meal, you wouldn't naturally store as much fat as you would without the saffron. Again, this is early research, although if we can conclude that saffron could potentially work, or there's a way to make the extract in a way to like just get this benefit, that looks really exciting, because then it could not only be good for losing weight, but it could also help with body composition. Let's say if you were to go on a long bulk and you were to gain a lot of weight, and you would obviously want to build more muscle than you were to gain fat, then saffron could potentially be used as a good supplement that way. Something I really like is that with respect to side effects, it looks like one of the better supplements out there. Even the studies had shown that some side effects were brain fog, mild headaches, some nausea, although even this was pretty uncommon. So it seems like a more healthier supplement with benefits that we still don't understand, and we still don't have the whole list because there's just so many of them. From my experience in using saffron, I didn't find it like too much of a game changer or improve my mood that much. I'm somebody that works pretty hard. I have a pretty high stress lifestyle, and I already use a lot of different adaptogens and different herbs for me to improve my mood and help me with fatigue. So perhaps that could have been one of the reasons why I didn't notice too much from saffron. Maybe if I wasn't using other nootropics and I was a bit more patient with saffron, perhaps I could have seen it doing something. But something great is that this looks like one of the few supplements that can improve your mood without some sort of downside. Like, I really enjoy ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a calming herb. It helps with anxiety. But with ashwagandha, it also comes with feelings of demotivation, which is the reason why a lot of people actually don't use this supplement. So saffron only looks like a win. I will caution you, if you are pregnant or trying to get pregnant, you definitely want to stay clear of saffron, because it does have some research showing that it helps people get an abortion, which you wouldn't want to happen. And if you are to use a supplement, definitely consider taking time off, especially considering it is such a strong substance for improving your mood. It feels good not taking any supplements and not messing with your serotonin levels too much. So I would recommend, if you do go ahead and use saffron, use it once a day at 15 milligrams a day. Increase your dosage to 50 milligrams twice a day if you feel the need to. Take 1 month on, followed by 2 weeks off, and then you can repeat it in that fashion. And if you're finding it to be more stronger than you expected, then I definitely wouldn't take it for a full month straight. I would take more time off. I always do believe that with supplements, the stronger the effects are, often the stronger the side effects are. And sometimes you don't notice the side effects until you get off a supplement. Like, you may use a supplement for a long period of time, notice the benefits, feel great, not feel like there's any side effects, but then you stop using the supplement and you feel worse than you did prior. I would love to know your thoughts on saffron. Have you used it? Would you use it in the future? Make sure to comment below. Do subscribe if you found the video informative. And if you'd like to chat with me one-on-one, you can message me on Patreon, and be sure to visit our Discord server. We have a 24/7 chat room. We're having a lot of fun there. Thank you for your support, and look forward to seeing you next time.